Hello everyone, welcome to chapter 85 on my RLDR Custom Creations YouTube channel. This video is a continuation of the theme from the last chapter. And if you want to see how things turn out, all you've got to do is keep watching. Oh, by the way, no wrenches were harmed in the production of this video. Well, I didn't think I'd be getting back to this project quite as quickly as I am. Finished all my prep for my classes and got all the marbling stuff mixed, so we're going to do that the next couple of days. That should be a lot of fun. Anyway, I got back to work on my toolbox liners because I have wrenches lying all over the place and I need to put some things away. So I really tried to maximize space when I laid things out on here. I'm hoping I haven't worked myself into a corner of having some of the places too close together. So I'm hoping this is all going to work. What I did is I used this jelly roll pen. I showed you this the other day. And it's working really good. If you keep everything clean and you use a light touch, the only thing I wish it had, I wish it would go up narrow and straight and then bulge so you could get it straighter along the edge. But in the end, I I always measured the distance from the back of the wrench to the back of the wrench, and I've got 7/8 of an inch seemed to be the magic number for me. And then once I kind of got, how wide that is, there were a lot of these. I just used the ruler, measured as accurately as I could, and drew the line. So I'm quite sure that'll work out just fine. Because all of these wrenches, the center part is straight. So that's what I did. So this is kind of crowded if you saw that. So what I did here is I decided that I definitely needed 2 sets of combination wrenches like this. So a box end and a whatever this end is called, box end, whatever. And so I've got 2 sets of those in here. And then the rest, the other wrenches I use quite a bit are these ratcheting ones. So I have this small set that I got many, many years ago. And this set, which I just bought at my favorite tool retailer, Princess Auto, just a month ago. So I decided that I have more wrenches that I need to put in places yet. I've got some brake line stuff and other things. So there will be another drawer. But I wanted all the stuff that I would use regularly in one drawer. So that's what I did. It's all laid out. It probably took me about an hour and a half to do this, maybe not quite. No, not quite, about an hour. And I think I'm happy with it. So now we're going to start cutting, and I'll bring you back when I'm more or less done the cutting, because I showed you cutting last day. Okay, away we go. Well, I got it all laid out, and I've got just about all the cutting done. This actually went a lot faster than I expected. I was already planning to shoot other video to show you in between, because I thought this would take me longer to do. I've probably spent about an hour and a half doing the actual cutting part, and I actually went back to my utility knife. But this is kind of a modified blade. A number of years ago, I was a very influential person that I know in my woodworking journey was a carver. And I don't know if he invented this, or maybe he got the idea from other carvers that he hung out with. But he had basically, my example of it, it's powered by a half-horse 1725 RPM electric motor. And I believe the gearing is it so that the 7-inch wheels, which are made of MDF, turn at about 700 RPM or whatever. I'll do the calculations and get back to you. In fact, what I'll probably do is show you that machine in a future video, because I use it to sharpen blades like this, and man, can you make this sharp, like super sharp. And that's what I've been doing, and I cut all of this with that. I think what I'm going to do is finish it with the knife. I left one, so I'm going to cut one on camera. And then I think I'm going to fire up my wood burner, and I'm going to go after some of the tear out, just to smooth it out a bit. And maybe that's not even necessary. I don't know. But I'm going to give it my best because I want this to look nice in the end. So anyway, here I'm going to go about cutting the last one. And one of the issues with this, and I'm sure it doesn't matter how much you spend on the foam itself, whether I would have bought stuff from Amazon or making my own thing here, it's very, very easy to have the knife kind of slip out and maybe make a track where you didn't expect it to be. But I'm surprised at how this stuff kind of self-heals from the top. Not that it goes back together, but it goes back together so you don't see the cut. So I've been quite impressed with that. For instance, these ends here, I basically plunge in and then just rock the knife back and forth, and there's a cut from there to there. But in the end, you won't see it. So the other comment to make here is, this is my first one. And I'm sure by the time I'm working on my last one, I will have changed or figured out something better. But for right now, this is working. Now I think I've cut as far as I can, and then you flip it over and you can kind of see what you need to take out. Oh, that came out really easily. And I find that if I fold it a little bit and open that crack up, and then just slit the back side. You have to watch out you don't cut your fingers here. That's important. And, oh, come on. It's always a little stubborn when the camera's running. Okay. Come on. There we go. You can see I've been cutting. But I don't know if you'll see this on camera, but the white lines that are left over from the gel marker that I was using, I'm hoping that now now that name's gone again. Anyway, when I clean this up, I'm hoping that that'll all come off. I'm quite optimistic that it will. So anyway, that's that done. Now for some of the smaller wrenches, this system works really good, but when you get down to, let's take a 1/4-inch wrench, okay, and the 1/4-inch wrench sits in this space here. Well, that sinks completely into the foam, and you can't really get it. So what I'm going to do when I put the backer on here, and we'll do that another day, or it's running late in the evening here, but I'll put the glue on the back of this part, stick the thin foam on that way, and then I'll cut some slivers of the thin foam and put them in the top and do enough to elevate the smaller wrenches to the right amount. Now the bigger ones, let's say this 3/4-inch wrench, which is a ratcheting wrench, goes in there like that. And maybe that's a bit high, but on the positive side, I can take it in and out quite easily, and I don't think it's going to fall over. So like I said, this is kind of an experiment that I'm doing. And so far, I'm cautiously optimistic that it's going to work out. And but I think I'm done in the shop for tonight. So tomorrow, we've got kids here tomorrow, so we're teaching tomorrow. But after that, I'll probably have some time. I'll glue the back on, and I'll bring you back for that. Well, here we are. A little bit of a change of angle here. Had the table full of marbling stuff today because my students marbled all their candle holders today. It was a lot of fun. But so now I have a clean work surface here, so we can finish this off. The only change I made to this since the last segment was I cut one more little uh, crescent wrench piece in there. So I had a couple of square inches here that weren't being used, and with the amount of tools that I need to store in the space I have, it was important to do that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the backer aside just so I don't get it all full of glue. We'll set it there. And then I'm going to shake this up a little bit. This is Super 77. Excuse me. Like I said earlier. Okay, now I should be able to get the cap off of it. There we go. Okay, not the best way to do this because I don't really have a fume hood here or anything. But it's evening. I'm in the shop by myself, so I guess I'm the only one that I'm hurting. But I'm going to spray the back of this. And like I said earlier, the reason I want to do that is I don't want any glue on the backing mat. So would it matter? It says it dries clear. It may not be a problem at all. But I'm not going to take that chance. I'm going to spray the back liberally. Just like painting the car. And like I said, liberally. Yeah, that's a nice smell. But I don't want it to be coming apart. I'll clean that tip a little bit later. I'm just going to set this aside like that and let it tack up. And then we're going to bring this in. Now this mat is the same on both sides. I wish it really had one smooth side, but it doesn't. So I'm going to put it down here like that. And we'll give that a little bit of time yet, maybe while we're waiting. I usually do this into my garbage can, but since it's not here, there we go. Clean the tip out. And how are we doing? I think that's good. Okay, now the key is just to get the alignment right. Yes, this is the way it goes. And I'm just going to tack that corner on. That looks good. I'm a little too far over one way. Let's try this the other way first. Because I had it cut. It was what I thought perfect. And it wouldn't matter if I don't get this on 100%. Seems to be okay. I have a roller and I should have thought about getting that out before I started this, but I think this is going to be okay. There, I can live with that. With the way I'm putting the wrenches in here, you can't see the contrasting backer color as much. So I guess that's okay, one of the disadvantages to being cheap. But I think this is all going to work fine for what I'm doing. Now, Armor All. And I don't know why I could not remember this when I was shooting the previous segment. This is a very common Canadian and American. Here, I'm just going to get a piece of blue towel here, which I should have been prepared before we started this. The Armor All basically makes things nice and shiny. And I noticed that it also, if I put enough of it on, will get rid of the white lines that I use to trace the outside. So I'm just going to wipe it down a little bit. But you have to kind of rub directly on it. And it's also, I guess, good for making sure that the bond between the two layers is good as well, because I'm kind of rubbing it in again. One thing I decided not to do, and I talked about a little earlier, was taking my my wood burner and making the edges smoother. I actually tried that off camera. I wasn't happy with the result. Now, the one thing about this, this is the first one that I've done. I've even thought of a few things I'll do differently next time, or I'm going to try. But you know what? That utility knife sharpened with my carving sharpening setup, which I'll maybe need to explain in another video. I'm not sure how many of you would be familiar with it. Really made the knife nice and sharp, and it cut like butter. So I think I'm going to call that good for now. I can live with that. Now, there are a couple of problems, and I'm just going to get, where's a 1/4-inch wrench here, the smallest wrench that I put in there. Let's see, where does this one go? I think this one is this one. See, that's sinking in a bit too low. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm going to take a layer or two of the green foam and put it in from the top and shim that wrench up a little bit. So that's what I'm going to do next, and I'm going to just do probably the 1/4, 5/16, and 3/8. After that, I think we're okay. If the open end sticks up enough, I can get my finger in there and lift it up. What I could have done is I could have just cut a section out here and used the middle to, made a finger opening to get the wrenches out. But I decided not to, because I wanted to get as much on here as possible. And basically what I've got is I've got 2 combination wrench sets. Where are they? A set of these guys, kind of ratcheting at both ends, and then I got my newest addition is these. So I've basically got 4 of my sets in this drawer, and I have to be efficient like that in order to fit everything in. Now, is it the best situation for accessing tools and everything? Probably not. But remember, I'm a woodworker, so I'm not using these tools all the time, but I do want them stored neatly so that I can get at them when I need them, and I need to maximize space. So If they're a little inconvenient to get out, or I could make it look nicer doing it a different way, I'm aware of that, but I chose not to do it because, like I said, I want maximum storage per drawer. So anyway, I'm going to build up a couple here, and I'll maybe show you one, but it's boring. So, and I'll be back in a bit. Okay? Well, there it is, and I love it. I absolutely love this. I wish I had a camera person that I could still be talking to you and show you a close-up of this, but that's coming yet, hopefully. Uh, I love it. Like I said, it's wonderful. The couple of improvements I could make using, here we go, this utility knife, when I cut in, I cut over, and I mean, you can't really see them. But I've thought of better ways, and maybe an X-Acto knife would work better than this. And I thought I'd maybe build an X-Acto knife with kind of a square tip, and then I could just push that in to do the ends, because most of these wrenches are the same sizes, so I could build one. Anyway, that's a few idea for a future project or a future one of these. The other thing that I don't know if you can see it very well from there, and I guess the only way this would work is if I would have cut holes to pick up the wrenches. But I'll just reach in and grab the open end and lift them out, and I'm good with that. But you don't really see any contrasting color here. So it's this black gym mat. I like this rough surface on the top because it kind of reminds me of tread plate. Like when I built my trailer, I used a lot of 1/8" tread plate for the deck and welded that all in, and I love the surface. So this looks somewhat industrial, almost looks like I have a theme. So no, I'm quite happy with it. The one thing though that I had hoped to do was find a different color gym mat here. Like Dollarama just sells this in a blue, but you can't see it anyway. So I like color coding things. So my drawer with metric tools, I was hoping to use a different color backer, but I think I've changed my mind on that now. I think I'm going to use a different color gym mat. So the black will be my imperial sized wrenches, spanners, as some people have in the comments have indicated, which I appreciate. But maybe in my metric ones, I'll look and see what colors are available, and maybe we'll contrast that way. The one thing I did mention I would do, and I did it here, is this is my smallest wrench, the 1/4 inch, and I actually took a scissor and cut thin strips of this and put 2 more layers under there to lift it up to the right height. Now I can get my finger in the end and pull it up. So, and I did 2 layers in the 1/4, 2 layers in the 5/16, and 1 layer in the 3/8, and the 7/16 I did nothing. It's nice to get, I'm glad I put the wrenches in so quickly after I'd finished spraying it, because things, you know, when you get this much cut out, it's not really stable. So some of the grooves changed or moved a bit, whatever. And when I put the wrenches in, I could kind of push it back a little bit. So like I said, I can't say it enough. I love it. Hopefully what this does is it inspires you to maybe come up with your own design. My idea isn't to tell you what to do. I look at my role as maybe sharing what I'm doing and giving you some ideas. So, okay, I could do it this way instead. And maybe you build something that's even better for you. But we've got one thing to do yet before we are done. Okay, now hopefully I can move this nicely and put this all to bed here without losing anything. Wow. I don't know if you can see that very good, But like the McDonald's ad, I'm loving it. So yeah. But anyway, let's close the drawer on that. This was way more fun than I thought it would be. To be honest, I've had these materials, I bet you, for at least 2 months, maybe more. And I just didn't start because I thought, oh, it's going to take me a day to cut it, and then, you know, and I've got 6 drawers to do, and I just couldn't get into it. But now that I've done one, the cutting didn't take anywhere near as long as I thought, and the way I want it to put together, I know it works. So now I'll make a few little modifications, and I will continue with the other, 12 drawers that I have. Well, I think I'll just do the shallower ones, like this one. I'll do those first. And then the bottom, the big stuff, I don't know what I'm going to do there yet. And the top drawer, oh my goodness, this is an embarrassment to even open. So I hope you enjoyed this. This was a lot more fun. Oh, by the way, then these things can go to the trash where they belong. Anyway, this was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. We are approaching 300 subscribers, and I need to get on it and figure out what the giveaway is going to be. But anyway, let's keep pushing me. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next video.